You watch Walking Dead?
I do.
You do. Are you up to date on The Walking Dead?
No.
No. Okay. I won't say what I'm going to say that I want. What I want to say then, due to the whole spoilers and thing. That's awesome.
I don't mind spoilers. You know, this is going to be the beginning of the show, too, by the way, Bob.
Nice.
Go ahead and spoil Walking Dead to start the show, Bob.
I will spoil Walking Dead with it turns out Carol, the very mousy girl from the very first season, is not so mousy anymore. In fact, she's become quite unmousy, to where one of the guys in the cell she was taking care of was bitten on the arm, and she's looking at it, and she's like, it looks like she's getting ready to cut his arm off, and then sees that he's also bitten on the back of the neck. So she takes her knife and stabs it through his temple, right there. I mean, bam. She's very, it needed done, so I did it. Now, the other thing that she did is they found the two bodies had been drug outside, doused with gas. That was her too, because there's a sickness. It's like a regular cold, and you die from it. And to protect everybody else, while they were asleep, they had this, like, they were sick. So while they were asleep, she walks in there, turns them on their back, and stabs them in the middle of the spine and kills them. So there's been things on the internet that have been hilarious based on that. Like, one of them's got Carol on the top screen saying, "Wow, what a nasty cold you have. I've got just the thing for that." And on the bottom screen, it's a gallon of gasoline and a lighter. It's hilarious. The other one I posted on my Facebook, and that one was it was like a NyQuil commercial. It had NyQuil down here. She was in the background. It says NyQuil, the nighttime sniffly, sneezing thing, aching, so Carol doesn't kill you in your sleep medicine. It's like, wow, that's hilarious. But
okay,
that's the thing there, is that she's becoming very not. She's unmousy. Thing.
Well, that's a great way to roll the credits, Bob. Woo!
Woo!
And welcome to the greatest show online. I am Iron Man.
I'm that cool Bob guy.
But you're not Iron Man.
I am not.
I'll take my hood off so that I'm not Iron Man too.
Okay. Wow. That's cool. Now, he was actually able to see us inside that mask through the visual display that would have been in front of his face then, right?
Right, and I'll edit in the CG later where there's little things going on.
That's awesome.
Nice beard.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
Was this 2 months worth?
A little over, yeah. That's I'm a lot happier with where my beard is at this time than I was last year at this time.
My wife prefers me to have a beard over not having a beard. Something about hugging her and very roughness, and this is soft, and she likes the soft. So I'm like this, just always touching at my face. And
you know how to make it even softer, Bob?
Conditioner that I use this time.
That is correct. Conditioner. Great news, Bob.
Ooh, let's hear it.
As we are recording and talking live right now on the 8th of November, there is 15 days until the day of the doctor.
Wow. I have an issue with the doctor right now.
What's that?
I have not been able to watch any of this last season because I didn't see the beginning of this season. It's not on Netflix. Nobody can find it online, and so I cannot watch any of the newest Doctors until they're on Netflix, where I can start from the beginning and watch them all in like 2 days.
Okay.
I know how that's going to go because it's gone like that in the past. Where I'm sitting there, I will sit there and watch the doctor for hours and hours and hours, and my wife is like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "The fuck do you think I'm doing? The doctor's on."
Let's see. I got the old trying to do the old curl up on the ends mustache there.
Nice. Now, if it gets too curly, you have to start tying women to railroad tracks.
That's actually the goal. Is I want it long enough to where I have to tie women to railroad tracks.
Good goal. I think that's that'll get you out of any trouble when you go to court. They'll be like, he had to do it. Look at his mustache. Like, can't you people see he's wearing a black hat? Of course he's a bad guy.
It has to be a black top hat too.
Yes.
Does your mustache not do this, or are you keeping it shaved or something?
I have a habit of biting. I'm a mustache biter.
That's
only
why
my own.
Curling up the ends is because it's in my mouth.
Don't worry, anybody. I only bite my own mustache. I'm not gonna like. Is that guy kissing that guy? No, he's biting on his mustache. No, I'm not. That's weird.
You can kiss me. You can kiss me.
No, that's all good. I would just end up chewing on your mustache.
Oh. What are you drinking?
That was a Mountain Dew Voltage. It's gone now, and that was it was flat because it's been in the fridge for days. I have to keep drinking because if I don't, I'll start coughing. That's gone.
You should do some water. Ooh.
Well, I had some water, but the problem with water right now is that I would have to keep refilling it. So I just quickly like grabbed 2 bottles of beer and like pop, and I'm like, computer, and I came back up here.
You know, I was going to have a live giveaway tonight, and we've got no viewers.
Oh. And dead giveaways are just illegal, I think.
Yeah. The giveaway?
Ooh, The Last Starfighter.
25th,
I think I might have that one.
25th anniversary edition.
That's cool. I was really impressed with that one. That's that would be a good one to do a remake of, making it more.
I would suggest not do a remake, but well, you could do a remake too. But I would like to see them do a sequel, like Tron-esque, you know. So it would be the next Starfighter.
Nice. I think that the potential there is almost like the gamer. I mean, these people who play these shooter games and stuff like that. What if they're inside of a suit and their controller is just like the controller that, and they're out there fighting in this massive world of. I mean, they're in the suit, so if they get shot, they really die. But they're controlling it with like the Xbox controller inside the suit.
That's why I think that a remake wouldn't be as good, because you've really got the perfect storm of arcade box cabinet game, and you've got a hokey, maybe redo the graphics or something. But I don't know. It's pretty good. Still holds up.
Now, you know, if the military were to start making guns shaped like that controller, oh my gosh, our country would be unbeatable. Like, where the military would walk around with the controllers and do it just like, you know, man, we've been training for this shit since we were kids. No point in training anybody.
You know, tonight, okay, let me lead off. I'm about to get a little political on you here.
All right.
I am a modern Whig.
You're a what?
Modern Whig. Now,
That's
a Whig.
a strange thing to hear from a bald guy.
It's WHIG, Whig.
All right.
So I'm a modern Whig. Modern Whigs are, for all intents and purposes, centrists.
Okay.
So I don't really have an extreme view on anything, or the extreme views that I have are counterbalanced with other extreme views. I'm centrist.
Okay.
What ends up happening when I get into conversations is whoever I'm talking to, let's say I'm talking to a Republican, because I'm in the center, I'm automatically left. And if I'm talking to a Democrat, because I'm in the center, I'm automatically right. So I am too far the other direction for them, even though they don't realize I hate that side too. So,
Personally, as far as me, I've got my beliefs. However, I'm so unrelated to politics that I don't even understand the right and the left.
okay,
Just
let's
say,
say I'm in the center of Republican and Democrat. So tonight, I'm on Facebook and I see somebody who's making obnoxious Republican-esque comments. Now, when I say obnoxious, I'm talking they're literally spouting every single little factoid, random propaganda piece, all the bullet points that you get to hear, even though they're not true at all. He spouted every single one of them. Now, the highlights of this are Democrats are all evil. The president's a Muslim. The president is from Nigeria. You get the picture here. Basically, he's literally going down the list of, it's not true. I know it's not true, but I'm going to say it as if it's true.
Like most politicians do.
Well,
The man's going to run a country.
except politicians have to be coy about that. They can't say, Obama's a Muslim. They have to go, we have reason to believe that certain members of the government may not be what they claim to be. And that's as specific as they're going to get.
Right.
Whereas Americans, they'll say whatever the fuck comes out of their mouth, which is what talking is, really. Saying whatever the fuck comes out of your mouth.
Oh. That was good.
I just blew your mind, Bob. Uh-oh. Did I lose you? Oh, God. I hope I didn't lose you. Oh, no! Stay with me, Bob. Stay with me. I have a bad feeling about this. Speaking of, I could talk about Star Wars when Bob comes back. Bob! Uh-oh. Sorry, audio listeners. A second Bob just popped in, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on here.
I don't know what the hell just happened there.
You're still frozen on the bottom. Oh, there you go.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. There was like both of our screens are on the bottom, and your picture's not in yours now. I don't know if mine's if mine is in yours.
When whoever's talking, that one disappears.
Yours just says Lime, and that's it. So I went to see. I put my mouse over it, and a little triangle shows up like a drop-down menu. So I hit on Profile, and all of a sudden it's doing all this crazy shit. So I went to close out of that, and it closed out of everything. I was like, whoa! Whoa! So you guys are lucky, and you didn't hear me yelling at my computer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I uttered the phrase while you were gone, I have a bad feeling about this, which leads us into talking about Star Wars Episode 7.
Wow. Yeah. 7.
Sorry, that
Am
was
I
just.
going to be in it?
Are you going to be in it?
Yeah. I want to be in it.
I'd like to be in it too.
I could be a Wookiee.
I could be. I could be. I'll be anything. I'll be a stormtrooper. I'll be a blue guy. I don't care.
I'll be that green bitch who sings.
Yes.
Wow. Are they going to do another Star Wars movie?
Are they making another?
Yeah. Are they? Is that in the plan?
Yeah, it's set for release in 2015. Where are you? Do you live under a rock, Bob?
No. But intriguing. What kind of rock? No, never mind. Never
Well, let me
mind.
catch you up, Bob, since you seem to be missing some of the news. Last year, almost to the day, Lucasfilm, or George Lucas, announced that Disney was buying Lucasfilm.
Yeah, I think I did hear about that.
Okay, and the same announcement also said they are making episodes 7, 8, and 9 to be released 2015, 2017, and 2019.
Wow.
And there's going to be 2 other solo movies that aren't related to the numbered movies.
You know who they should put in that new series of movies? Is Kevin Smith. They need to find a way to fit Kevin Smith into those movies.
He's already in a Star Wars.
Really?
He's in Return of the Jedi. Yeah, he's the big guy with the tail that's eating frogs and talking gibberish.
Right, that guy. Yeah. Okay. I can just see Jabba the Hutt wearing a hockey jersey. That's the image going in my mind right now.
That's about it. No, Kevin Smith no, that would ruin Star Wars.
It doesn't have to be a big part. They can just stick him in there as some little, just an appearance.
He can be coming out the anus of the Sarlacc pit. How about that?
Cool.
Oh, Bob. Everybody is speculating if, but the biggest speculation right now is whether or not Han Solo and Leia actually get married, or if we're going to see hey, they split up a long time ago because Han Solo can't be nailed down to one woman because he's a scoundrel.
Wow. I think that he has that point where he came back and saved Luke's ass. I think that right there defined him not any longer as a scoundrel, but as kind of a bad guy hero, almost Batman style.
So you're saying, but wait, since he saved Luke's ass, maybe he wants Luke's ass instead of Leia's ass. They're twins after all.
Wow. Did I just say Han's gay?
I just wanted to be able to write Luke's ass down as a possible show title.
That did it then. All right.
I listen to a podcast called Rebel Force Radio. They used to host the Forcecast on theforce.net. But the hosts moved over because they wanted to own all their content, and theforce.net kind of owns the Forcecast, so they were like, we'll amicably split. And when they speculate, they speculate a lot.
That's cool, Dash. Disturbing.
Dash.
Yeah, because it's both. You have to put a dash.
It's true. Hey, I have awesome news, Bob.
Ooh, let's hear it.
My missus is 0.8 over her stated weight goal. So she has to lose 0.8 of a pound, and she has reached her weight goal.
Wow. I can do that in a half hour in the bathroom.
I did that in a half hour in the bathroom tonight. Before the show.
Did you hear what they're doing with trans fats now?
With what?
Trans fats.
No. Oh, somebody mentioned something that it was all in the news, and I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it was all in the news, and you didn't know what it was.
So what are they
Yeah, they
doing?
were just saying that that they're going to make it to where you cannot use trans fats anymore. They're saying that in 2005, I believe, is when they started requiring that trans fats be put onto the labels. Before that, they were putting it in everything, and it was like really high. And now that it was in your face on the label, this isn't good for you, but here it is. Here's the facts. It started going down. Well, now they say that a little bit isn't good enough. You want zero trans fats. And I was looking through my cabinet, you know, seeing this news here. I'm looking through my cabinet now, and I'm like, they say it's in like it's hidden in things like microwave popcorn and shit like that. Well, I got 2 different brands of microwave popcorn shown on my cabinet, and both of them have zero trans fats. Everything zero, 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 zero. I managed to find one thing. It was like a pancake batter that had trans fats in it. So they're making it. They say that yeah, it's pretty much poison, and you shouldn't be eating it anymore. All right, I can do that.
Well, I've already eliminated it because I eat mostly fruits and vegetables.
That's a very good thing to eat.
It's true. Although, there's an episode of Doctor Who, classic Doctor Who, where the plants get revenge because there is no one in existence that has not eaten some form of plant.
Wow.
The plants strike back.
Da da da. And Return of the Plants? Plant Wars?
Well, plant wars. That would mean I would think that would mean the plants are battling themselves, and I don't think there's a plant civil war going on.
Celery would get ass beat. Let's be all like, fuck you, celery. I don't even want to talk about that.
What do you mean? Celery's got like some rigid. It's got some rigidity. It knows what it wants. Lettuce is just all floppy. It just floats wherever you throw it.
I think the cauliflower it looks like a very smart plant because it looks like a small brain.
It looks like an albino tree. And broccoli is the colored albino broccoli. Yes, they actually taste the same. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you eat broccoli?
I do. I do like broccoli. I think you should totally write down albino broccoli.
That'll go with albino squirrel. You know, I have something to drink too, and all this talk of food is making me hungry.
Oh. I just had a big bowl of ramen with zero trans fats, by the way.
I think I'm going to go make some popcorn.
Ooh.
I'll be able to tell you if there's trans fat in it, though.
Yeah.
So can you keep everybody entertained while I'm out right there?
Sure. And then when we come back, I have a thing that I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
All right. We can go. Iron Man does whatever an iron can. Yeah. So that's DJ's kitchen there. Is your molding missing? It almost looks like the molding is missing from his kitchen. Huh. On my first beer, Coors Light, because it's good for me. That's why it's light beer. If it was fat beer, I wouldn't drink it. That is pretty bad. It's Coors Light, so it's okay. Oh, there's DJ now.
Yeah! You like my arc reactor?
You would, yes, beautiful. Now that would have been awesome if you had a chicken Wonder Woman costume right in front of you while you were doing that. That would have been.
Oh, a chick in a what costume?
If there was a chick in a Wonder Woman costume, right when you were doing that, like that would have been.
That would have been pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Like butter. Oh,
See?
the first pop!
Woo! DJ, I like your mustache. I like the fact that it's defined as separate from your beard. Mine doesn't do that. Mine is all kind of blends in together. I think it's cool having like the defined. Yeah, we went back to facial hair. Hey. Oh, it's never gonna pop if you keep watching it.
Oh, it's popping.
It's popping. You know it's popping. You know it's popping. It's just popping. I was telling new people today about my show, our show, but since they don't know you, I was telling about the show. This Mexican dude I was working with. I call him Mexico. I told him about the show. I even showed him a little clip on my phone. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, dude, check it out. And I showed him a little clip. He's pretty cool. I'll tell you in a little while here some of the things we were talking about because it was kind of cool. Like aliens and Bible stuff, which is weird to me, Bible stuff. But it was kind of like it's back.
What aliens and Bible stuff?
Aliens and Bible stuff. That's what we were talking about today at work, me and this Mexican dude that I call Mexico.
You tell me about the aliens and Bible stuff, and then I will tell you my new discovery about religion.
Oh, okay. It was just basically we were talking about like the ancient alien stuff, the things that coincide with the Bible and the alien theorists. It was pretty cool because he had like I keep in my pocket a small charm. It's a pentagram that I don't know if you know about the true meaning of pentagrams, but everybody says, "Oh, those are evil." Well, they're not evil. The 5 stars represent the spirit, earth, air, fire, and water, and the circle represents the creator that touches all of them and makes them all part of one. He had like this thing around his neck. It was his little charm. It was a crucifix with that all these like it was like pretty cool. He was telling me how he's been to exorcisms and shit like that. So we were talking about some really neat shit there, and it was pretty cool. What's weird is that most of the Mexicans where I work, you can't really understand much of what they're saying, and some of them straight out say, "I don't know habla," and then you get them going on something cool, be like, "Okay, no habla, would you like some candy?" And they're like, "Hell yeah, I want some candy!" And it's like, yeah, so much for now. No habla. So I mean, there's some of them that are really, I can't understand you, you can't understand me, but there's others that, wow, they just talk and talk and talk, and it's kind of cool because mostly you can't understand them, and then like there's a switch. Now all of a sudden they speak good. But I want to hear
universal. Candy is universal.
Ah, I speak common.
Common?
That's a Dungeons and Dragons thing.
Oh.
It's the language that like everybody talks, and then there's like dwarves can speak dwarven and elves can speak elven, but they both speak common.
What about what do you speak jive?
Don't you gotta do this with your hand when you speak jive?
You ever see the movie Airplane?
A long time ago.
When the scene where they're all slapping that lady because she's hysterical?
Yeah.
That starts out by somebody speaking jive, I believe.
Wow.
Like there's a black guy sitting in the seat, and you can clearly understand what he's saying, even though he's using heavy amounts of slang. And the guy's like, I don't understand what you're saying. And then this lady gets up behind him and goes, don't worry, I speak jive. And the whitest woman you've ever seen starts talking like him, and you're like, oh my.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I want to hear your new theory on religion.
Oh, okay. I have been listening to an audiobook about mythology, like
About
how it
what?
came about, what it stands for, what we use it for today, because mythology still exists. A lot of it comes in a book that says Bible on the front.
Ah, yes.
Popcorn issue. Anyway, so mythology was created to explain things that couldn't be explained. And these stories of heroic individuals doing heroic things that can't really be done are all myths. And those are used to help you as a human being rise up and succeed, basically. So if you're down in the doldrums, somebody tells you the epic of Hercules and how he overcame, I don't remember how many feats. That's supposed to uplift you so that you can go tackle that waitress job that is really, really making you.
And now we got a kitten hanging onto a branch saying, hang in there.
Right. So, knowing mythology was established at some point in time by really, 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 really old people. They're long since dead, like tens of thousands of years since dead.
Well, they made it up?
Yeah. So, let's just take a single myth. Let's go with, wow, it's going to be a tough one here. Let's go with well, forget. I'm not going to pick one specific one. I wasn't ready for that. Anyway, a whole bunch of myths, and each culture that becomes dominant takes the ones that work for them, modifies them for them, and then there become those myths.
And then throws them back out into the world.
Right. So, we attribute a lot of myths to the Greeks and the Romans. However, those are myths that have been recycled hundreds of times by other civilizations long before the Greeks and the Romans. At some point in time, well, everybody's religion or everybody's mythology was just kind of the same. It's like we have the amorphous sky god, we have a whole bunch of other gods that we pray to, and none of this seems to be working. So in 3 places on the planet, 3, they enter what's called the axial age. The axial age is when the old myths got collected, very specific ones got merged with morality definitions and such, and then they were put out as monotheistic religions. So these 3 places, China, India, and the Mediterranean area. China invented, I want to say, from this axial age came something from China. India had Buddhism come out of it, and the Mediterranean area obviously had Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all come out of it. Everything that happened in the axial age is still being practiced today. But everything in the Torah, the Kabbalah, the Bible, and the Quran, you can point to, and if you look at them hard enough, you can dig the actual myth out of the story being told. So you can't, these books that everybody's following were never designed to be taken literally. Never. Not one piece of it is a historical event. It's
Not even
all,
when they were like new and fresh and
right.
yeah.
It's all allegorical. It's all morality lessons. That's what it is. It's never
Ancient
been.
comic books.
Yes. It's never been meant to be taken literally. And at some point in time, some jackass said, "Oh, this bush literally talked to this dude."
Well, I mean that's understandable. I mean, there's people today who are all like, "Dude, with great power comes great responsibility."
Yeah, we're just recycling the same myths and putting them in picture form.
Yeah,
Next, we'll be putting them on cave walls.
we need caves. We need lots and lots of caves because I got a lot to say.
Or one really deep cave.
Oh yeah, good call.
So my new theory about religion is if somebody engages you in something with their religious theory and whatever book they're toting is their weapon, just point out to them that that was never meant to be taken literally, and then use the universal conversation ender.
And how's that go?
That's an interesting point. Wait, sorry, I got that wrong. That's an interesting point of view. Now, the missus came up with that, and I haven't had a chance to use it, but God, I've been really close. Like somebody will start going down, and then they'll veer off right before I get the chance. But as soon as I can, I'm going to let you know how that turns out. Yeah, that's an interesting point of view. And
If that doesn't work, ask if you can lick their forehead.
I could.
You can add that to that. That's an interesting point of view. Can I lick your forehead? And I guarantee the conversation will be over. Thanks. No. Yes, I like that theory. Did you know that the unicorn is mentioned 3 times in the Bible? The unicorn. I don't have any unicorns in my part of the world.
If Satan's so evil, why did he only kill like 16 people and God killed millions?
Millions. Yeah. Yeah. If he's got such a hatred for God, why is his entire existence dedicated to punishing those who have done God wrong?
Oh, mind blown.
Yeah. And you got to admit, Satan is a snappy dresser. You can see he's probably wearing like the whole black suit with the black shirt under it, the black tie, and fucking black fedora. He probably looks fucking cool. Everyone else is wearing like robes and shit. He's got that fucking like.
And then Pimp feather.
Did you say a feather?
Pimp feather.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, God is all about abstinence, and the devil is just about indulgence.
That's what the parties are.
Uh-huh. Uh-oh. Someone's got to run outside real quick. I'll be back.
Okay. I was hoping it wasn't me. Hold on there. And he's off. Followed by Toto. And the cat. That didn't happen in the movie. Oh, the Yellow Brick Road. Where the hell does cat come from? There's a little black cat. Frosty Day's path. No good can come from this. Excuse that. So where is this outside you speak of? Hey, he's back. Da da da.
I'm only back for a little bit because I'm gonna have to let him back in too. But I wish dogs could talk because what I get is the dog walking up to me going,
"Oh no." I had a dog who would do that. he would just do this sniff thing, and if you ignored him, he'd start sneezing on you. And I think where that came from was at one point he sneezed on me, and I'm like, "Fuck this! You're going outside." And he took that as that worked. And so after that, he would walk up to you and sneeze, and that was like how you knew that he wanted to go out.
Damn
That's
it.
some fucked up shit right there.
It is some fucked up shit. You were showing me your beer.
My beer?
Beer, like you're drinking. You held up your bottle.
Oh, well, it's empty now. Oh, that was probably what I was indicating. Now, here's one of the things I was thinking about at work. I would like your view on this. I was thinking about, you know that I'm not as crazy with this as some people are, but I am crazier than most. As far as like the survivalism, a lot of people are into the survival and preppers and stuff like that. Now, I'm not, you know, I don't have blow the whistle and time my family getting out to the car with weapons and camping gear like some of the shows that I've seen. But I do think that one of the ways to avoid anything, I mean, it's not bad to be prepared, not so much from an apocalyptic event, but just if you're driving in the snow, have a blanket in your car, just in case. But I was thinking about the whole big type scenario of survival and job-wise, as far as there's a lot of people, like you deliver mail,
Yes.
your wife works at a pet store, her own pet store, right?
Well, it does have dog treats in it, but it is not a pet store.
Ah,
Think of it as an eclectic grouping of products made in North Dakota.
gotcha.
And we
Well,
have a viewer, which I'm hoping is the missus. And yes, we just plugged your business, trishasbakery.com.
we did that. So the question is that both of those type of jobs are dependent on people coming in, or people. If people stopped getting mail, you wouldn't be delivering it. If people stopped buying things for buying stuff, there goes the store. And I was thinking about jobs then that would, as far as a survival type scenario goes, what kind of jobs would prepare you for, like if you're ones that aren't dependent on people, to where if shit went down, not only are you not fucked as far as job-wise goes, but you actually have something now that you can use to help yourself or help the people around you to survive.
So what you're asking, what jobs would be good for that?
What kind of job? Yeah, I mean, I could see like, okay, well, what I do is people give me money and I take them out into the wild and as a tour guide type thing. I can see that being some sort of a, not so much a tour guide, but they have people who take people on city folk on hunting trips and stuff like that. So they have something like that would be. But is there types of jobs that you can have that would not just, that would actually prepare you, make things easier for you in the event that the shit goes down? That phrase I don't understand. I don't know what shit is supposed to fall, but
I don't know what shit is supposed to fall either.
Supposedly up somewhere, there's a whole bunch of shit, and at some point, gravity is going to affect it in such a manner that it comes down, and at that point, we all have to survive. I think that's how that goes.
Agreed. However, I don't know. I mean,
are all jobs dependent on? Well, look at farmers. Something as simple as being a farmer would help you with something like that. You have your food, you know how to grow stuff, you know how to slaughter animals. I couldn't tell you what to do if it came to slaughtering a pig. To what parts of it you can eat, what parts of it you can't. I mean, I could probably figure it out, but farmers do that shit all the time. They know what the hell they're doing. And I think that would be something that would totally if for some reason we ended up in a situation where we needed to survive, the farmers are going to do all right.
Well, you and I will be okay because we've been in field exercises in the Navy, and while that wasn't a short period of time, we are prepared, at least in some way, shape, or form, for the possibility of spending large amounts of time in the woods and or without running water. And I'm pretty sure that though I don't, I could certainly hunt and kill something to feed on. And I'm not going to go around testing berries, so it's going to be an animal diet for me.
Hey, eat this mushroom and tell me if you're dead.
That's the type of stuff that scares me. Is like, okay, you know the mushrooms that make you hallucinate and all that, they all come from cow shit. So who looked at that pile of cow shit and saw that mushroom going, hey, I'm gonna stick that in my mouth?
Yeah, good call.
Gotta go get the dog.
Okay. And he's off. Like a true Iron Man. Getting the dog. However, I never actually saw Iron Man getting a dog in any of the movies. But maybe there'll be another sequel or something where he's like, Iron Man gets the dog. That might be pretty cool. Be a dog in an iron suit, an Iron Man costume for dogs. They'll call him K9. Show up that. Shoots laser beams out of his ass. Oh, there's the cat again. Did the cat go out with him too? Yeah, cat, I'm talking to you.
No, the cat did not go out.
I was confused by that because when you went that way the first time, the cat followed you, and now that you let the dog in, there's the cat again. And I'm like, did the fucking cat go out? What the hell?
At first, the cat sat near the edge of the door, and when the dog came in, would pat at the leash coming in the door. Now the cat sits by the door, and I'm pretty sure she would dart outside. And being a black cat at night in North Dakota near a busy street, it wouldn't end well. So I had to pick her up, basically, to keep her from darting.
Now I don't know if you heard my comment. Probably not. But Iron Man with a dog. Can you imagine the iron suit thing around a dog, where he's like Superman had a dog, Crypto. That's in the cartoon, but Batman in the cartoon also had a dog. But Iron Man's dog, you know he'd put a suit on that motherfucker.
Just Google, like the other day, I looked up Iron Cat. There are cats in Iron Man suits.
Wow.
Yes. So just look up iron, fill in the blank animal, and you'll be good.
That's pretty cool. The Iron Kangaroo.
Oh!
Motherfucker jumping.
I saw a picture. Somebody recolored a Cyberman. Red and gold, baby.
Wow.
It was the best mashup ever.
That's pretty cool.
I know. I thought so too.
Cyberman does whatever a cyber does.
I have a friend who for Halloween dressed her cat up as Spider-Man, so it was Spider-Cat, and she typed out that song, Spider-Cat does whatever a Spider-Cat does.
That's cool.
There's a superhero that's it's a mock superhero. It's Man. It's a man who was bitten by a radioactive man and now has the powers of a man.
Wow.
And Man in costume is a dude with a bigger dude's head, like he's coming out of that dude's mouth. That's Man.
Wow.
Like a Russian nesting doll going on there.
See, I dig superheroes. We were talking today, or yesterday. This was pretty cool. We were talking about superheroes and stuff at work. And not my boss, but the boss in the back of the building, because I went back through there. And the funny thing is that we were talking about Superman and about the S, about how the S isn't really an S, but the L family crest. And he's like, who? I go, L family. You know, Kel-El, Jor-El. And he's like, Who? I'm like, that. Jor-El is Superman's father, and Kal-El is Superman. And he's looking at me like I said, the most bizarre thing ever. And I was telling him about how in the 70s version, or 80s, I think it was in the late 70s, Superman, um, and this new one, Man of Steel, about how Jor-El on Krypton has got the S on his chest. And why the hell would his father? I thought about that years ago. It's like, why would his father have the Superman S on his chest? If the yellow sun is what gives Superman his powers and makes him super. And all the other scientists in the room had a different symbol. And I remember I looked it up, and so I knew what it was because I looked it up. I was curious about it. Like, wait, that can't be an S. His father's got that. And I was really glad that they picked up on that in this last Man of Steel movie. Did you like this last Superman movie?
I've liked them. Well, okay. I liked the first Christopher Reeves one. I also like the one Christopher Reeves with the three baddies that come out of the Phantom Zone.
That was number 2.
Right. Number 3 was basically a Richard Pryor movie that had Superman in it.
Agreed.
And Quest for Peace is god awful.
I don't remember that. The only thing I remember about that was at the very end, Superman coming back in with like the top of the White House, setting it back on the White House with the flag, saying, "Sorry I was gone so long, Mr. President," or something like that. I don't remember much about that.
I think that was in number 2.
Oh, it could have been.
Anyway.
Oh, that's the one with the bad man. Like the solar-powered bad guy.
Nuclear Man, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's wearing that god-awful onesie. It's just terrible.
Speaking of which, how was it that in the, not Man of Steel, but the Superman movie that was made before that, which did have some things in there that I really liked, Superman was gone for a while. He flew back to where Krypton was.
Yes. Superman Returns.
How did he do that?
In a ship.
In his ship?
Yeah, because when he crashed, when he got back to the planet, his mother pulled him out of the wreckage of the ship. He had been gone for so long that the radiation had no longer worked on him.
Oh, wow. Gotcha.
Nobody liked Superman Returns because they say it was Superman versus an island, which I mean, it had good parts. I'm just glad it wasn't Nick Cage in the suit because I was really worried about that particular movie.
One thing that I liked about it, and I talked about this at work, was that they touched on Superman as a child. He was running through the field really fast, and he jumped. And he jumped higher. And he's like, "Yeah, check this out." And he jumped really, really high. He came crashing through the roof of the barn. And right before he hits the ground, he's all like, "I'm gonna hit the ground," and he stopped, and he was like hovering above the ground. And that's when he flew for the first time. Now, Superman was capable of lifting a truck as an infant. What the hell was his childhood like? I mean, was it one of those things like, "Okay, Clark, time for your nap," and he like throws the car through the field, and they're like, "All right, stay up, you're fine, okay." I mean, it took the Kents to raise him just perfectly so that he didn't flip out at 5 years old and kill the entire neighborhood. Because I mean, he had that strength as an infant, and kids can be rough.
Yes.
I would have liked to have seen a movie that has, granted, in the Man of Steel, they did have him as a kid saving people on the bus, but I want to see like the younger years of Superman before he's a hero.
No.
No? That's
No.
bad?
Yes, because what'll happen is it'll be a Disney movie esque type situation where it's 10-year-old Clark in some sort of over-the-top, campy, adults are stupid movie, and then 3 years later it'll be 13-year-old Clark in some really, really bad, adults are even stupider, campier, with a dog that flies from Krypton. And then in the trilogy, because you have to round it out, it'll be Clark in high school trying not to kill the guy that he's playing football with by rocketing the ball through him, okay?
Nice.
And adults won't be as stupid, but they will be pretty dumb.
Right, I can see that. I mean, maybe in comic book form or something like that. See, that was one of the comics that I wanted to see, was the fact that all the superheroes were the same age. They all were, I mean, and there was the occasional breaking from that mold, but they were all kind of the same. And I would like to see, say, did all the superheroes, did their powers come around puberty? So you have, like, all the superheroes are between, you know, the ages of 14 to 32. It's like, well, what about the old ones who have retired from fighting crime, and they sit on the porch with these like superpowers, and any kid who steps on the lawn is fucked, or the kid who's trying to be normal, even though there's no way in hell you can't have that much power and not be normal, especially as a teenager. I want to see a comic book that touches on that.
As far as Superman, if you did a Google search, you will find hundreds of Superboy Smallville comic books. I mean, you would just find hundreds of them. I mean, they mined the fuck out of Superman. He has no fuck left in him.
Wow. Who would have thought to look there in the first place? Where's some more fuck? I don't know, check inside Superman.
I do agree, though, that all of a sudden, everybody who's 32, for instance, is boom, all of a sudden they've all got powers. That's a little weird.
Yeah, and they stay that age. I mean, you don't really, occasionally they'll touch on the older superheroes, but they don't normally age after that. They're all about that same, like, you're either young or you're middle-aged, and then you stay that way forever.
Which is why, in my shared universe that I'm working on, heroes will get older, heroes will wear realistic clothing, and heroes will die.
What's this that you're working on?
A shared comic book universe. I have a shared superhero universe that I am working on. I need an artist.
I like it. The idea, though, like, if, say, like mutants, the mutant powers didn't come in until around puberty and stuff. I can see, like, accidents happening, you know, the classic being dipped in radioactive stuff or bitten by a radioactive whatever, and things that can happen that's not going to happen to a 7-year-old, but it's quite... What the hell was that?
The cat jumped in the pig cage, so I had to hose her down.
All right. I can see these things not happening to somebody really young because they wouldn't get themselves in a situation like that. But in the superhero world, say where there's magic and aliens and other possibilities, it's quite possible that your mother died during childbirth because you burst through her chest. You know, which would make for a hell of a backstory. I mean, that's going to fuck up anybody. Yeah, so where's Mom? Yeah, you destroyed her when you were being born.
I work on that. I like the... okay. I started collecting comics in the 80s. I sold off my original collection, but in the 80s I came up with basically analogs of heroes I was following. So I had created a Captain America analog, for instance. I've created an entire superhero universe, but a lot of them are just I mean, you could point at it and go, that's obviously just Captain America in a different suit. That's obviously just Batman in a different suit. That's obviously Thor without the hammer. So I had that going on. And then every time I revisit the concept, I change something. And basically, while some of my analogs have survived, they are no longer recognizable as to what they used to be. So now I have mostly original heroes. But it's so hard for someone to come up with an original idea. I'm not like my main hero is based largely off of Shazam.
One of your favorites, isn't it?
He's my favorite, the favorite. So rather than try to say, well, no, this isn't like Shazam. He's this problem, and he's got this problem, and that's different, and this no. Draw whatever conclusions you want. Billy Batson is 12. My guy is not 12. Does he say a magic word? Yes. Is it Shazam? No. Does he wear red? No. Does he wear tights? No. In fact,
it's cold, maybe.
In the what?
Maybe if it's cold.
Well,
never mind.
a large part of his introduction story that I am currently working on is he gets these powers and then dons what he thinks would be a great outfit. You know, this is my superhero outfit. And he's battling his nemesis in multiple encounters every time his costume changes because the nemesis uses the costume against him. So, like, at one point, he's like, superheroes, they have capes, and he's got a cape. And the nemesis just beats the shit out of him because he's wearing a cape. So like he's flying and the nemesis will grab it and like hammer him into the ground.
Yeah.
You know, basically, and then he'll come back and he'll go, that wasn't a good idea.
Okay, who's the cape? No capes.
Yeah, no cape. And that hero has a very specific story I'm telling. But I'm also doing all of my main heroes come together as a team, so I have my Avengers.
It is true that there are so many heroes out there that coming up with an original idea, somebody somewhere has already thought of it. You can come up with an entirely different concept that you've never even heard of before, and then you'll talk to some geek out there and be like, "Oh, yeah, just like this guy." What? Yeah, same fucking costume even. What? You know,
well, the costume might be a little different, but yeah. The Human Torch, there are 3 different versions of the Human Torch. There's the Human Torch who was an android, and that's how he started on fire, which eventually became the one from the Fantastic Four who was Cosmic Rayed to become the Human Torch. However, both of them are based loosely on someone called the Blue Flame, who is basically a blue version of the Human Torch that came before both of those versions of the Human Torch.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, there's so many different ones. Now, one thing that's always kind of got to me, something that always bothered me, is that pyrokinetics are immune to fire. I like the idea that that it's possible to start a fire with your mind, but that doesn't mean that fire is not going to hurt you. It means that you can start a fire with your mind. And somehow the pyrokinetics in any story have always been immune to flame. Well, I can't see what the mind power has to do with physical sensation of heat and cold. And that's something, if I were to make a superhero who's a pyrokinetic, he can start fires with his mind, but it can also burn him. Just because I can't see the connection. Just like they've done the thing of anybody who can become invisible also has the ability to put up force fields. Like automatically, if you can become invisible, you can do force fields. And they just have like these certain things that are always connected with some of the superheroes. That now I understand becoming invisible has got to do with altering the light and space and some sort of. I don't know why that is, but well, like the one from the Fantastic Four and the one from the Incredibles. Incredibles? Yes.
Yeah. The Incredibles, they actually said that they just took common powers and put them on these characters to tell this whatever story. So
good story.
Yeah.
That's one of the things they did there, though. I mean, they both had the invisibility, and they both had that. The girl from Hellboy, she's a pyrokinetic, and of course, totally immune to flames. And that's she's the only one who was able to.
But is that a mental flame, or is she physically exuding fire-creating abilities from her skin?
Well, I don't know. There is a like in the. There's one story that I'd seen where the dude excreted a fire, a gas, and the gas would light, so that his body wasn't actually burning, but it was the gas that was like you could take rubbing alcohol or not rubbing alcohol, lighter fluid and put it in the palm of your hand and light it, and it'll burn and you're not going to get hurt. If it drips down the side, all of a sudden it starts to burn, and you try to flip it out, and now it's covering your hand and you're on fire, and that's when you get grounded for 3 weeks. That didn't happen. But the idea of your body letting loose some sort of a flaming, to where it would actually take something to light it, and you would not be burning, but you would have a flammable. It would be like on the surface of your skin, but not burning your skin. I could see that. But she had the ability to, because pyrokinesis is a molecular version of telekinesis. You make the molecules move faster, the object heats up to the point of combustion.
Now, are you watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes.
Did you see the one with the guy who has the firepower?
There was one episode that I had a really hard time getting into, and that must have been the one. There was one I had a really hard time with because it was so boring.
Now, well, this episode's called "The Girl in the Flower Dress," and without ruining any of the plot points, basically they state emphatically that the reason he can hold his fire that he's creating is because the platelets in his blood have this certain property that rejuvenate his skin. So basically he is protected because it is physically changing him. Now, what the point of these people getting him is to remove these platelets for another reason. And when they remove them, and then he starts using the power again, he's burning.
Oh. Nice.
Girl in the Flower Dress.
I'll check that out.
Yes. Now you won't be bored. You'll be like, that's what I'm talking about, bitches!
You totally sound like a wrestler.
What you gonna do, brother? When I start burning and using my firepower.
When Iron Man comes for you.
We still got to be a tag team, Bob and the other guy.
Which one will I be?
You be the other guy.
Nice.
We'll throw everybody for a loop. But I know he's Bob.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Now I want to make a. I want to write my own comic book. I want to do that. I want to write my own comics.
You come up with your concept, and I will work your hero into my shared universe. I won't write him. I'll let you write him, but he's completely yours. But he can be part of my universe.
Nice. You do that. What is the best? If you were to be a superhero, what superhero that's already out there can best be translated into DJ.
So, not giving me super. Wait. Like, if I right now decided I wanted to be a superhero, which one would translate best for me?
Yeah, if you're a superhero, like you can't just say, "Well, I want to be this superhero because he's awesome," but is that practical? I mean, is like which one best suits you? Not which one you like the most, but which one suits you the best. Unless, of course, it's the same one.
Well, I think that the easiest one to obtain from my current position in life would either be Green Arrow or Hawkeye.
Nice. Do you like the concept of using bows?
I,
Do you shoot a bow? Do you have a bow?
I do not shoot or have a bow, but I've always wanted to.
I do, and I'm good at it. I got two bows and a little crossbow. I don't want to do a little crossbow.
I do need an archer.
I like archers. I have got, so I actually have three bows, two recurves in the compound. Um, the one is only like a 35-pound draw, kid bow. Actually, I think I have more than that because I picked up more. The kid's bow is used in a game that we play, Amp Guard, where you get foam weapons and you go out into a big field and you beat the shit out of each other.
I'm pretty sure I've seen you holding that with a foam arrow.
You shoot at people with the arrow. It's a real arrow with a ball of foam on the end.
What I'm saying is I'm pretty sure I've seen a picture of you holding that ready to pounce.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I like the Green Arrow concept. I don't like the cartoon version of the Green Arrow. The boxing glove that they're shooting. Some of the things that they use are totally. It really dumbs down the character.
I like the Arrow TV show Arrow. That's who I like.
He's good. I like that. I got off on that. Let me rephrase that sentence. I am no longer up to date on that. I'm off from where I should be. But it is on Netflix now, the first season. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to start that first season over again, and I'm going to watch it all.
Do you have Hulu Plus?
No, we went with Netflix instead.
Why choose? I have both.
I didn't choose. She's the one with the budget. She's got she handles the budget really well, and I let her. If I say, okay, we need this,
get rid of the cable TV and get Hulu Plus.
The what?
Get rid of the cable TV and get Hulu Plus.
There's a lot of things that we still watch on cable TV.
Name one that's any good.
Shield.
You get that on Hulu Plus.
It is. We watch Big Bang Theory.
CBS sucks. CBS has a deal with Amazon Prime, and I haven't gotten the Amazon because Amazon hasn't gotten anything that I absolutely cannot live without yet. So that's a third service that you could also engage in, which would still, all three services together is still cheaper than what you're paying for cable right now.
Nice. I do watch the news in the mornings, which I don't know why, because I don't know if you've watched the news, but it sucks.
I watch the news every day.
They're always talking about, things that's going on in the world.
You can get your local news via rabbit ears. Did you know that?
I do like the local news, and I want more local news. I want to know what's going on in my neighborhood. But the closest TV to here is, it's got to be a big thing before they'll mention it on the news. Fire might make it, but if it's a fire that blows up and kills 3 people and their dog, that's probably going to make it. So, I mean, it has to be kind of a bigger thing here to make it to the news on the channels that I watch.
Well, I watched the local NBC affiliate. I watched that using the rabbit ears in my window right now. I can also, via my rabbit ears, get the local ABC affiliate, the local CBS affiliate, and the local Fox affiliate, as well as PBS.
I want rabbit ears. Have you seen Tank Girl?
Or Bob's Burgers.
The ones from Tank Girls, those are cool. Those guys are just. I wanted to make a Dungeons and Dragons or a role-playing game based on those characters, and then there was a one of the games we were playing. Oh, F-Guard, the one where we beat the shit out of each other, did have a character that you can play that's based off of that. They're kind of like fucking samurai rabbits. They're humanoid samurai rabbits.
Anthropomorphic.
Huh?
Anthropomorphic.
Big bunny.
Okay, Bob. First, we lost our viewer. Second, we haven't had one goddamn question this whole episode.
Wow.
Third, we're over an hour.
It doesn't seem like it.
I know, isn't that awesome? We are so great together that we don't have to worry about that shit. So, we're going to do the normal thing after the credits. So we're going to do the credits, and then I'm going to actually end the broadcast, and then we're going to talk without worrying about people listening.
Yeah, why would we want people to listen to our show?
Right. So thank you for joining me, Bob, and I'll see you next week.
Yep, see you later, bud.
This is the Lime Flavored Network.